What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video here at Colubrids. We're going to be doing a quick video on how to build a PVC rack for the FB5 bins from Freedom Breeder or the Vision V15 bins. It's going to be a good one. We're going to do it quick, so don't go anywhere. So this is two PVC racks combined right here, and I actually did a video on how I made this rack. You could check out my last video, how to build a PVC rack, and you could watch it. It's a nice video. I describe everything that I did, and then you could watch this video. And with the extra PVC that I had left over from this build is what I'm using to make this mini PVC rack for the hatchlings. All right, guys, so from that last build that we did, the beauty about it is when you order PVC from a company and they cut it for you, there's always going to be leftovers because they charge you by the square foot slabs that they sell, which are usually like 8 foot by I think 4 or 5 foot. So after they make all the cuts that you requested, there's still leftover scrap PVC. So they give that to you. So you should tell them, try and cut it in even pieces. And that's what they did for me. So we're gonna build another rack, a little mini rack with this. So these are the bins that we're gonna be using in today's video. Let me show you real quick. This is the Freedom Breeder FB5, and this is the Vision V15. They're identical in every way. The size is the exact same size. So if you're building a rack, you could use either one. They're the exact same size. The only plus with the Freedom Breeder is they come with pre-drilled holes and a little deli cup holder. You can get the deli cups for these. So this saves a lot of time. If I get any more of these, if I need more that are these size, I'm gonna definitely go with the Freedom Breeder because of the pre-drilled holes. That saves you a lot of time. With the Vision, you see I had to actually do it by hand with a drill. So these are the bins. We're gonna be going four bins per shelf, and it's gonna be in a time lapse. So let's get to it. So basically what I'm using for this build, nothing fancy at all. You can get this at Lowe's, Home Depot, a little Black & Decker hand drill, a box of multi-purpose construction screws, 1.5 inches, Spax, that's the brand I'm using. Got your PVC, got your bins, and I got this at Home Depot. It's basically a liner for like where you keep your utensils in a drawer. It's just plastic. It comes in a roll for like $8. I cut it to this size. It's about the thickness of a credit card, and that provides the gap, so when you slide the bins in and out, there's just enough space. The snakes won't escape, but you can pull the bins in and out pretty easily. And then next, all I'm doing is gonna be repetitive. You're gonna see it in a hyperlapse. This is gonna be the base. I'm gonna take a piece of PVC, put it sideways for the sidewall on each side, and I screw one here, I screw one there, and I screw one in the middle just to make the sidewalls. Then I take a piece of PVC, put it on top of here, screw those in, and I just keep going up. So let's get to it. So we got the sides in, screwed everything onto the side, you got your base, put the bins in. This is the easy part. The hardest part is putting the sides on. Now you put that spacer gap down, you just lay it down like that. You put your next piece of PVC right on top. Make sure everything is even. And then we just screw in each side and keep going. so for every level you build, this is going to be the test right here. Make sure everything slides out. So you're going to take the bins out. See, that one's a little tight, but let's see how it is once I take everything out. Take out the spacer gap. See, it comes right out with it. Put that on the side, and now put everything back in. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. I'm worried about that corner. See, nice and smooth. It actually worked out fine. The spacer gap was still in there, so that's why the last part didn't want to come out. Now the most important thing with these are, especially when you're building these hatchling racks for small snakes, the space in between the PVC and the bin, it has to be no thicker than like a credit card. It slides in and out nicely, and there's no space there, because if the gap is even like a quarter of an inch or a little bit bigger, a newborn snake will get right out of there, and that's not what you want. So that's pretty much what you're looking for on each level. Check, make sure that there's no space for the snake to escape. So this looks perfect. So everything is a repetitive motion. Take the bins out, put them on top for the next level. Put your spacer gap. Spacer gap is in. Put your next piece of PVC. Make sure everything is leveled. That's it. Then we screw each side and keep going. If you notice on top, it's not perfectly leveled because the two side panels should have been a little bit taller, but I didn't make these dimensions. This was just the leftover PVC from my first build, and I really wanted to get 5 levels, and I made it work. But I'm gonna leave you the description of what size you will need in the details below. All right, so we're done. This is the last level. See how we did here? Take out the spacer gap. We don't need this now. And this, I just save it, so whenever I have to do another build, I have it on hand. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right, it looks good. All right, guys, so before we finish, this is the heat tape. Now, a lot of people will run the heat tape through the actual shelves. You need a little bit more heat tape, and it takes a little bit longer. I'm gonna show you an easier way. I flip it on its back. So this is gonna be the back portion of the rack. This is just heat tape that I get from Reptile Basics. It already has the connector cord on it. I got it this way because I'm using it as a back element. If I wasn't, I would get one long roll and run it through the shelves. So basically, this is gonna be taped to the back. So I'm gonna cut this size. So, all right, so I made my cut. Now I'm gonna cut along the white strip part. The black and the gold is where the heat is actually emitted. So I'm gonna be doing 2 strips of heat tape for this one. Now I'm going to cut the second strip. Alright, so now all we're going to do is tape the heat tape to the back. I'm using this metal foil tape. It's heat resistant. You don't want to use regular clear tape or scotch tape, anything like that, because the heat will melt the tape. So I got my heat tape on. It looks a little sloppy now, but I have 2 extra pieces like this. They're not the exact size as this, but it's the same height. So the height's the same. So I'm gonna actually seal this off right here like this. And this is the top, and this is gonna be the bottom. So now when the bins come through, this will stop them. And this will also hold the heat tape in place. Alright guys, so it's all done. The back portion is not exactly the same size. That's because this was just leftovers. All the shelves are one size. The sides are one size. Just that back part, but it's going to get the job done. Let's test it out. We want to make sure that the bins can't slide all the way through. See, it won't go any further. It won't go any further. It won't go any further. So that's perfect. We're going to try each shelf. And the heat element is all the way in the back. So far so good. You could also use 2 V18s and 1 V15 per shelf if you wanted to add the V18s if you had a larger snake. And for the last one. So they won't go in any further than that. Perfect. Alright, so a quick tip is, if this is going to be an open back, you see back there I have my little wall, which prevents the bins from sliding in and out. Say if that was an open back, the bins would just slide right through. So what you would want to buy is these little heavy duty stick pads that they put like underneath furniture. They look like that. And you just take the tape off and you place them on each section for how many bins you have. So when the bin slides through, it'll hit it and it won't let it pass. So that'll pretty much stop the bins from pushing all the way through. Alright guys, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Just wanted to tell you guys I don't have enough bins for this, so I just put my order in with Freedom Breeder. I have 20 FB5s coming in. So when I actually get them in the mail, I'll do a video, I'll unbox the bins, we'll put them into the rack. And I'm actually gonna be doing an FB20, which is a Freedom Breeder bin for an adult colubrid. I'm gonna be doing a rack just for them. It's gonna be 10 levels high. It's gonna hold 10 adults, and that'll cover most colubrids like hognose, corn snakes, king snakes, rat snakes. And tomorrow we got an unboxing video that I'm gonna be doing. So stay tuned for all the good stuff and be safe.